All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here on a Saturday morning, and today I wanted to compare a couple of really cool field watches. And I wanted to compare them because even though they're both fairly inexpensive watches, there's quite a bit of a price difference between these two watches. I wanted to show you what's similar and what is quite different on these two watches. So I saw something on Instagram the other day talking about Vaer watches and saying they were basically a Timex on steroids. And I actually think that's a pretty good statement, to be honest with you. So on the left-hand side, we have the Timex Expedition Scout, very famous, popular watch. You can find these watches on Amazon for anywhere between $37 and about $45, depending on what strap combination you have or anything like that. You can also run to your local Walmart, most likely, or your Target store and pick one of these up right over the counter. So it's a really cool watch in that for the price, for what you get. On the one on the right is the Vaer S5. This is a newer release from Vaer watches. This watch is actually designed in Los Angeles, California, but assembled in Asia. Most of Vaer's watches are assembled in California, in Los Angeles, as well as being designed there. But by making this one in Asia, it's brought the price down to $129. So quite a bit of a price difference, to be honest, more than double, obviously the price of the watch on the left, the Timex Expedition. And we want to kind of jump into why that is. I'm going to bring both watches up here in front of the camera here in just a minute and kind of explain the case, the crystals, the movement inside of the watch. But I want to get the dimensions out of the way because although these watches look quite a bit different, to me, the Timex looks like quite a bit bigger of a watch, but it's not that much bigger, really. You've both got a 40mm case on both of these watches from side to side. Lug to lug on the Vaer comes in at 47.5. Lug to lug on the Timex comes in at 49.3. So almost 2 millimeters of difference is what I measured there. As far as the thickness of the watches goes, and I'll kind of bring them up and show you really quickly, the Timex comes in at a 10.1 millimeters of thickness. The Vaer comes in exactly at 9.1. So they're very similar, off by about a millimeter in the thickness of the watch. They both have 20mm lug openings. So I'm going to back the camera off a little bit. We'll bring each watch up here individually. I do have videos on both of these watches. I'll leave a link down below for each of the video descriptions or the overview of these watches. But let's take a closer look at these. All right, so the first watch we're going to look at here is the Timex Expedition. Now, so much great stuff going on with this watch. You have a classic field watch style dial with the Arabic numerals 1 to 12, and you also get that 24-hour track for military time or, keeping, well, you can't really keep a second time zone, but it's basically keeping track of military time. You also have a date window over here at the 3 o'clock position. As far as the movement goes in these watches, I am really not quite sure. I know that a lot of Timex movements are made in the Philippines. I've never had a problem with the Timex movement. They run really, really good. The case on the watch, I do believe, is a base metal, maybe a brass or something as such that's been coated or anodized, I do believe. This is pretty common with Timex watches. Usually when it says stainless steel case back, like it does on this one, the case itself is actually a different style base metal. Otherwise, it would say all stainless steel construction. That's a pretty standard known fact. The glass is mineral crystal on this watch, so it is going to scratch up quite easily. I've known quite a few friends with these watches, and they will scratch. You hit it hard enough, they will break. And I've even seen guys that have actually popped the crystal out of these by bashing them so hard. But it's a sturdy watch, and at $37 to $45, it's not going to be a deal breaker. Now, I do have this on a, believe it or not, I have it on a Vaer strap that I had in the drawer just to kind of match up the two watches there. But for $37 to $45, it's a great, great watch. Now, let's bring the Vaer up here, the S5, and talk a little bit about this. Now, the Vaer S5 is all stainless steel construction. This is all stainless steel. Oh, and I want to mention 50 meters water resistance on this watch here. The Vaer comes in at 100 meters water resistance. You can see it right there on the dial. It does have a screw-down crown. The Timex does not have a screw-down crown. All stainless steel 316L construction on this watch. So right off the bat, that's going to tell you that this is probably a little bit more sturdy of a watch. You have all stainless steel construction. The case design has been done very, very well. It dives down on these nice pointed lugs here and fits and hugs the wrist really, really well. You also get this nice signed screw-down crown on the watch. Another big difference is the crystal. This has an AR-coated sapphire crystal. Gave one of these watches to my mom a couple of years ago, and she's been wearing it, and I looked at it the other day, and there's not a scratch on the crystal. There's all kinds of dings and bumps around the stainless steel, on the case, but her crystal is perfect, which is really cool. These are running a Miyota movement. It's a simple Miyota movement. I'm sorry I don't have the caliber number. I do believe that I mentioned it in the full review of this watch, so definitely go check that out. Taking a look at the case back again, it's just going to be a simple stainless steel case back, but it's not going to say, you know, stainless steel case back. This is all stainless steel construction, which it does identify there. Also lets you know that this watch has a sapphire crystal on it. So, you know, honestly, guys, these watches, the Vaer watches, are a really, really well-made watch. I think if you do want something like a Timex on steroids, take a jump over to the Vaer website and take a look at them. While this is a great, great watch, and it's a watch you can wear every day and gets the job done, this is a watch that truly is probably going to last you a lifetime because they have that full stainless steel construction, the AR-coated sapphire crystal, a good Miyota movement in the watch. I'm not saying the movement in the Timex is bad, but I do think you get what you pay for, and I think they're using a better movement in this one. So let's go ahead and get them both on my 7-inch wrist and see what they look like. All right, so first off, the Timex Expedition, which is a good looking watch. It just really, you know, it hits all the notes, that bright orange second hand ticking around there. And you can get that with different colors. I know they make one with a yellow second hand, different case finishes and whatnot, but it's just got a really, really great look. You've got the date window over there at the 3 o'clock position. It's just a classic looking watch, and it looks really good on the wrist. 40 millimeters fits just about right. Under 50 lug tip to lug tip makes it hug the wrist well. I do have this on this single pass Vaer strap, which fits very nicely, but you'll see, I'll leave Amazon links down below. You'll see there's such a variety of straps and case combinations you can get out there for this watch. But let's go ahead and slip the Vaer on the wrist. Well, they're both spectacular looking field watches on the wrist. You know, this is a standard NATO strap, and it's just enough smaller with that 1 millimeter less thickness that it really sits on the wrist well, coming in well under 50 millimeters. At the 47.5, it fits great. Looks good on a strap. This watch will slip under the cuff because it's nice and thin, super comfortable. Pretty much a little bulletproof piece. You know, their whole waterproof thing is wear it doing pretty much anything. They've made sure that these watches are superbly waterproof. I've never had a leak on my Timex, but 100 meters screw down crown, probably going to make a difference. So let's go ahead and dim the lights and see what kind of lume these two watches have on them. Well, Timex has never been a company known for their lume, but they are known for another feature they have on their watches, which is pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and get the lume lit up. And if you guys watched the Vaer video just recently, you'll know that the Vaer really has quite a bit of lume on the watch. And you can see that the Timex doesn't do too bad. You know, very easy to identify the hands on the watch. So it definitely gets the job done as far as lume on it. But here's one of the things with the Timex that the Vaer doesn't have, and that's the indiglo function, I should say. Now, I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a problem with focus on my camera because of the darkness, but that's one of the special things about a Timex, is it doesn't matter with the lume because you push in the crown and you get the indiglo function. But the Vaer, very nice lume on the Vaer. Strongly applied, and it does last quite a bit through the night. So, all right, guys, a quick comparison of a couple really cool field watches. There will be links down below in the description for these watches where you guys can check them out. So definitely do that. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. Thanks, guys.